For the past 2 seasons, the Liberty Women's Ultimate Team have had to be faithful in the little things as the team's last 2 years have been canceled. Now this upcoming year, the Flames are preparing for having a longer season than normal. We sat down with the Women's Ultimate head coach to talk about the past few years and the team's expectations for this upcoming season. And sitting down with me today is the head coach of the Women's Ultimate Team, Jonathan Mast. Jonathan, thanks for sitting down with us.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Now let's talk about this past season. Obviously, you guys couldn't compete like you normally do and have your regular season, and actually, unfortunately, for the last 2 spring seasons. But you were still trying to find a way to keep the girls engaged and trying to keep them motivated throughout the season. So talk about this past year.
So as far as the past year goes, I mean, you're correct. We've had basically 2 seasons we've given up as far as our normal conference championships and whatnot. It was a challenge a little bit to keep everybody bought in and all that. But for the most part, we were pretty pleased to see the buy-in to investing in the team as a community. So we tried to focus on, since we didn't have as much competition, we tried to focus on doing stuff outside of practices, just building the community as a whole. Recruitment suffered a tiny bit for whatever reason. But yeah, overall though, we were pretty pleased with the results. Like the team grew closer together. We were able to get eligibility extensions for a lot of the seniors, and so they're going to be competing again this upcoming fall, even though some of them have graduated. So pretty excited about the upcoming semester. And as far as the last season was concerned, yeah, it had its challenges, but also had a lot of its successes as well.
And obviously for your team, one of your team verses is from Luke being faithful in the little things. Really, you guys had to live that out the last couple of years. Talk a little bit about it, as you touched on it, but maybe expound upon it a little bit more, like how you were able to see your team really live that out over the last couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, Luke 16:10, he that is faithful in that which is least is faithful also much, and so we shortened it to faithful in the little things. And it's always been an emphasis for us, but particularly during COVID and whatnot. Like I said, without a lot of the people consider competition to be the payout for all the work you invest, and so we've always had the idea and the concepts, the philosophy of learning character through sport. That's one of the reasons we exist as a program, and so we just had to really, dig into that concept. And just be faithful to that concept. And we asked the girls to try to be faithful in the little things that they were doing to make themselves the best that they can be, and then try to invest in each other. And so that was just an element of being faithful in the little things. And really, it is amazing to me. The longer I've coached, the longer I've lived, how much life is just being faithful to do the little things, and then the bigger things take care of themselves.
Now this upcoming year, you guys are going to be having to compete in the fall, and I know that's normally the time where you do your tryouts and then kind of get everyone in the swing of things to prepare for the spring, but not the case this year. Talk a little bit about how this fall you're kind of going to have to hit the ground up and running.
Yeah, so it's going to be a very compressed semester. The spring is normally our season, and the way they've done everything is they USA Ultimate and has the governing body of the sport has extended the season because they postponed it rather. To the fall. And so we normally have tryouts and then have a whole semester to teach the new recruits, figure out who's going to fill the roles of graduating seniors and things like that. And then the spring is our normal season. So what we're going to do now is we basically have tryouts the first week of school, and then we have a tournament. And then we're going to, well, not the first week, but like second or third week of school. And then we have sectionals and Lord willing, regionals if we qualify in October. So it's going to be a very compressed, very much hit the ground running. The girls are excited for it. Like they all have good spirits about it. They're just excited to compete again, and have had summer workouts and are happy to, like I mentioned earlier, kind of get some reward for all the work that they've been putting in. So they're excited to compete. So I'm not worried about that. But it is going to be quite a busy semester, I think.
And now let's talk a little bit about, obviously, for the whole year, because not only are you going to have a fall season, you're going to have a spring season, so a much longer year than your team is used to. Talk a little about the things that you just expected and expectations you have for this upcoming season now with having 2 years.
Yeah, so
or 2 seasons, I should say.
Sure, 2 seasons. I actually have pretty high expectations, hopeful at least. Like I mentioned briefly, our graduating seniors got eligibility extensions, as did some other sports, and so folks that would normally be graduating are going to be able to come back and compete. And so we're retaining actually quite a bit of our team. We're only losing a couple of people. And then I'm hoping to recruit, have a few good recruits coming in as well. So it's hard to say what the rest of the conference looks like and what the rest of the region looks like as far as our competition is going to be concerned. But if my theory is correct, I think we'll actually be, we'll have a good chance at doing pretty well, placing really well. I don't like to say, here's what I hope to finish, because I like to just be of the mindset of we do our best and let the results fall where they may. But I would hope that we could finish up in the top 4 in the region by the end of the fall semester. And then we'll not have those same seniors in the spring because their eligibility will run out. So it's hard to say exactly what will be there. But I'm really hopeful that we could have a really good season.
Well, awesome, Jonathan. Well, we can't wait to see how you guys compete, not only in the fall, but in the spring this year. Thank you again for sitting down with us, and can't wait for the year.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.